and welcome back to Emily Cat 176. It's Friday. Yes, another week's gone past. And today, the last few weeks I've been doing books, but today I've got a poem for you. And it's by a poet that I have read some of her poems before. I think she was such a good poet. Elizabeth Bishop. So this one is called The Mountain. At evening, something behind me. I start for a second, I blench, or staggeringly halt and burn. I do not know my age. In the morning it is different. An open book confronts me, too close to read in comfort. Tell me, how old am I? And then the valleys stuff impenetrable mists like cotton in my ears. I do not know my age. I do not mean to complain. They say it is my fault. Nobody tells me anything. Tell me, how old am I? The deepest demarcation can slowly spread and sink like any blurred tattoo. I do not know my age. Shadows fall down, lights climb, clambering lights, O children. The Mountain by Elizabeth Bishop. I like that. And I'm not telling you how old I am. I think she was such a good poet. She was American. 1911 to 1979. She wrote poetry and short stories, and she was also a painter. And from 1949 to 1950, she was a consultant in poetry to the Library of Congress. So I have done another one of her poems, At the Fish Houses. If you want to go and look at that one, that's a really good poem. And there's one of hers I'd really like to read, but I've got to get permission because it's copyrighted. But it is a really good poem. So have any of you heard of Elizabeth Bishop? As I said, I think she's a very good poet. And with the poetry, I've got to be careful because, as I said, a lot of poets have got copyright, so I'd have to get in touch with them, get permission to read it. It can get quite involved. But there are some, and as I said, a lot of Elizabeth Bishop's work is now copyrighted. This one I couldn't see a copyright on. And I said, and At the Fish Houses, I could read that one out as well. But I really like that. It's a repeating pattern, how old am I am. Tell me how old I am. I do not know how old I am. And as I say about poetry, it's not like a book. You only have however many stanzas, and every word has to be right. It's a real skill. So that's it for today. A short video. It'll be back to books next week because I'm currently reading a book I want to talk about next week. But I also want poetry to thrive as well. What about you? Do you like poetry like I do? And it's just so interesting. You read it, and these poets, they have different styles. They talk about different themes. I really like it. So enjoy your weekend, and I'll be back on Monday. Bye.